Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 class guide, where I'm going to show you the easiest ways to win with the new characters from the Abyssal Terrors DLC. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're covering the Gangster, which is, in my opinion, one of the most difficult new classes, and one of the ones that even expert players can struggle with to win consistently. The Gangster can steal items every shop, so every shop we get to steal an item for free, but that has a percentage chance of spawning an elite. Whenever we kill an elite, they all get stronger, which means that if we steal an item and get caught, we're going to be making all of our future waves potentially more difficult. So balancing when to steal and how to do so, and also when to actually kill elites and when to run away, is fairly challenging for this character. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on for this guide. We also come with a bunch of pretty severe penalties. Our items cost 20% more, which doesn't sound like a lot, but really hurts your economy. And you can't lock items, which is a truly brutal restriction. It makes it harder to find your weapon sets, harder to find consistent items consistently. It means that you are often left with awkward amounts of material left over at the end of waves, and so are a little bit weaker than another character would be. And it costs you money directly because items get more expensive wave to wave, and usually you can lock in a discounted price in an earlier wave. The Gangster can't do that. We want a weapon that is going to allow us to do the most possible damage to elites while also clearing everything else, and I think the choice for the Gangster is pretty clear. We're going to take the revolver. This is the highest, or second highest, single target DPS weapon in the game, so it's very good for killing elites, and it also attacks pretty rapidly, benefits from all of the stats that we'll find, and this character has less control over what items it's going to have than other characters, so we want to make sure we benefit from every stat, don't need anything in particular. So the revolver, I think, is the pretty clear best weapon for the Gangster. The 6 shots that it has should be just enough to get us 54 materials on the first wave. That's very consistent, I have found, when you start with Revolver, which is a little bit on the low end, and of course that's compounded in terms of difficulty by our items costing more, but we'll be able to recover from that by stealing stuff in the first shops. I'm going to take 5 harvesting here. When you get early harvesting, it's totally fine. And now we have kind of an issue because we have a revolver costs 27. We have 54 starting materials. So we're only going to be able to get 2 of them. But I'm going to roll, and I will roll again for another one and try to steal a revolver. And hopefully we find something that we can purchase as well as steal. Here I'm actually just going to steal this submachine gun rather than roll, because this gives us a chance of buying the cake. And that's just an item that we want to buy. You do want to buy early items rather than not get stronger. So being able to do that and not just waste money that we won't necessarily be able to spend on something productive because we can't lock items, I think is good. When you're a gun build, you typically want to split between the good guns. In this case, for Gangster, we just want revolvers and submachine guns to allow for the maximum possible wave clear and boss killing power. Let's reroll here. None of these are particularly good stats for us. And unfortunately, we didn't find harvesting or flat ranged damage. I'm just going to take 5% damage. We want the most damage we can possibly get. We're going to steal this sharp bullet. This is a great item for us, and it costs 38, meaning it's more expensive than most of the other things that we would potentially buy at in this shop. So we get more money from stealing it than from something else. Here, I'm going to keep re-rolling. I'm looking for submachine gun or revolver, if possible. And unfortunately, we did miss on weapons, so we got pretty unlucky. This is what I'm talking about with this this character being a little random. I'm going to buy the laser gun just to make sure that we are actually improving our weapon set here. I will say I'm not a huge fan of the design of this character. I mean, I love the stealing mechanic, but the character is inherently fairly random, I think, and the goal for these class guides, of course, is to give you consistent ways where you're going to win every time, as long as your dodging mechanics are at least sort of reasonable. And I think for the Gangster, it's very difficult to come up with a strategy that wins 100% of the time, because the shops are a little bit random, and you can just get unlucky and get a really difficult early elite, and that can get you in a lot of trouble. I'm going to take the penguin here. Typically, We're going to not use regeneration. We're going to use lifesteal instead, but the penguin is still just good to have, and we'll take a ranged damage. Then I'm going to roll. None of these stats matter for us. And I'll take 2 armor because a level 2 level up is always good to have. We'll take a submachine gun here and then roll again and buy a revolver. I'm going to buy the revolver because on wave 4, or the shop 3, we're reasonably likely to find a level 2 item that we can steal. So I'm going to buy the revolver and then roll. And I'm looking for something good to steal here if we can possibly find a level 2 item. We missed, so I'm just going to steal this weird food rather than reroll for 6, because there's no guarantee we would find something good in our next shop, and weird food's a great item. You really have to be very adaptable with what items you pick up. We're hunting for higher level items, but sometimes they won't show up in the shop. The number 1 tip for this character is you want to steal every single wave, and you ideally want to steal the most expensive possible item every single shop, except for waves where you are already going to have an elite. This character will always have elites, never hordes. It's always got 3 elites. And you don't want to spawn 2 elites. That can be really difficult. And then the other number 1 tip is if there's an elite that you can't fight effectively, run away from it. You don't have to kill it. Here we're going to take luck. Luck is really good for the gangster because the higher the level the items are that show up in our shop, the more value we get when we steal them. So here we're making 72 materials when we steal this wheelbarrow, which I'm going to do. Butterfly is kind of worth looking at because lifesteal is pretty good. I also do want to upgrade my weapons, but I think I will buy the butterfly, and I think we'll be able to afford something if I reroll once, so I will reroll once. Didn't find anything useful there. Let's reroll one more time and see if we can buy an upgraded weapon, and we can. I'm going to upgrade my revolver, because revolver upgrades quite well, a little better than these other weapons, so making sure to level up the revolvers, I think, is the most important. The laser gun is a fine addition, and when you're a gun build, you do just want to use a mix of guns, whatever good ones you find. I typically wouldn't want the laser gun as my first option. I just want revolvers and submachine guns. And the submachine guns are because they do good damage, but also provide really good healing through lifesteal. Laser gun is a little less valuable, though very good for killing elites. But still a reasonable third option, and given that we didn't find the weapons we wanted, we just have to settle. Here, I will take bonus range. That's fine. We can take the glasses. And then I'm not going to take the regeneration here. We just want damage. You really want to build a lot of early damage on this character, and then we'll take some luck as well. 9% dodge would be fine, but I want to boost my luck because that makes us more likely to find good items to steal in the shop. Let's roll here, and a cursed revolver is a real gift. Very happy to pick this one up, so we're going to buy that. I'm going to steal the alloy, which gives us crit chance and ranged damage. And this does give us a 20% chance of finding an elite, but it's a level 3 item. That's why we bought all this luck. So we're going to see if we find one. We didn't. There will be an alert that'll pop up if you get caught and are going to spawn an elite. So we don't have to worry about this next wave, but we had to be aware that that was a potential problem that we were creating for ourselves when we stole that alloy. Do I take spicy sauce or reroll? It's wave 5, so we're still guaranteed to see a weapon, so I'm going to roll one more time to, again, try to level up my weapons here. And if I buy the coupon, I can buy the revolver. So let's buy coupon into revolver and just get 3 leveled up revolvers and go to the next wave. This cursed revolver is massive. That's a tremendous amount of damage. I will say that was a very lucky find. But you do just have to, I think, get some lucky items when you're playing this character. That's what the strategy around playing this character is based around putting yourself in the best position to get lucky, and then taking advantage of that when it does happen. But that will make it a little easier for us to kill any early elites that we happen to spawn, so we're very, very happy to have that weapon. Cursed weapons, obviously, are just incredibly strong, so you always want to grab them if you happen to find one. We're leaving a bunch of materials on the ground, so I'd be happy to find a baby gecko or something like that, but it's not required. I could take 5% crit chance here. I think I'm going to roll. I think we can actually do better. And yeah, I'm going to take 2 ranged damage, which boosts the damage of our weapons quite a bit more. That being said, I will still buy the Insanity. Crit chance is still good for us, but even though we're partially submachine guns, which don't benefit that much from crit chance, but it's still very useful for this character. Just increases our damage. And the most damage possible is what we're aiming for. I'm going to take the Ugly Tooth. We're going to be fighting a lot of elites, and this can make them slower, so that can help. And then let's roll. And here we're going to steal the Ritual and buy the Cursed Lumberjack shirt, which is great. And then that also lets us upgrade our laser gun. So we'll go to a level 2 laser gun, and we'll steal the Ritual. Again, didn't spawn an elite, so we're sitting pretty. If we had spawned an elite there, this character has a level 2 laser gun and a cursed revolver, so we might try to kill the elite. We have pretty good damage in this build, but again, an important tip for playing this character is if you are not confident that you can kill the early elites, do not fight them. I don't know why I just ran into that walrus there. Making sure to get more curse. We've already gotten a bunch of cursed items, which are giving us a tremendous leg up, so we're very happy with that. This character should typically be a little ahead economically of where other characters are, even with the price penalty. You make more money by stealing high-level items than you lose by spending more on items. The downside is that your items are going to be a little more random, so you can't as easily direct where your stats are going to go. We'll take the Feather here. Minus 3% XP gain is a real penalty, but the range damage is so good for us. And then I'm just going to take 3 armor. Armor's super important on the Abyss, so we're very happy to grab that. Here we're going to buy Helmet and Mutation. I'm looking for move speed now, because I've decreased my move speed quite a bit. And our max HP is quite low, concerningly low, so I'm going to buy the Spicy Sauce here as well. Then I'm going to roll and purchase a leveled up submachine gun, so we're going to buy that, and I'm going to steal another Spicy Sauce. Not because this is particularly great for us, but we do need HP, even at a bad rate. So we're going to take even a slightly inefficient way to grab health, we will still pick up. Corrupted Shard I would love to pick up, but we can't lock it, obviously, and there's no point in re-rolling. On a normal character there, I would probably re-roll to see if we could lock something good, because the re-roll was cheap, but on this character, you never want to do that. So we need a little more healing. Our healing right now is all coming from consumable healing, and I definitely need attack speed. That's the stat that we're missing the most. So I'm going to be very focused on trying to find attack speed with our next levels. Levels, you can direct what stat you're getting a little more easily than you can from items on this character, so if you really need a stat, try to find it from your level ups rather than from your shops, because it's just kind of random what you find in shops without the ability to lock and with the increased price. Of course, if we do find a coffee or something in the shop, then that would obviously be amazing, but we can't guarantee that, so we're going to focus on finding attack speed from levels if possible. I'm going to recycle the dynamite. We have no explosion, and then this is a guaranteed level 3 level up, so I'm going to give it 1 reroll to try to find some attack speed, and then 1 more just in case, and we did find 15%. That's a huge find for us that will make our character so much better. Attack speed is the most important damage stat for single target damage, which is what we need when we're trying to kill elites. Then we already talked about needing more healing, so we're going to take the lifesteal. Bone Dice, I typically do not like this item very much, but our percent damage is quite low, so it might be worth grabbing here. Also, you can never take Weird Ghost on this character unless you've already stolen an item, because if you buy Weird Ghost and then steal and an elite shows up, then you're going to put yourself in a really tough position, so even though we would like the Weird Ghost, we can't really afford to grab it. I'm going to take the Broken Mouth, and I think I won't take the Bone Dice. It takes so many waves for this to actually give us stats that we want, that enough stats to make it efficient, that I don't think it's worth buying here. Injection, on the other hand, gives us 7% damage right away. So while it's less total stats than the Bone Dice, it's half the cost, and it gives us this percent damage right now, so we're benefiting from it immediately, whereas Bone Dice takes a while to pay off. Let's buy a submachine gun. I'm still looking for something good to steal here, and I will steal the Starfish. Increased enemy damage, very, very dangerous for this character, because of course the elites are going to do more damage, and that will stack with the damage bonus that they're getting as they get stronger as we kill more of them. But this is a huge economic boost that we can get pretty early, gives us a bunch of harvesting and extra material drops from enemies. And it's important on this character to get greedy. You really cannot play scared on the Gangster, because you have to steal something relevant every wave. We got super unlucky there, I will say. We killed that spawner, which drops, I think, 6 base materials, and then we have Starfish, so it should drop 20% more. But we got the random chance of it dropping 0, because the way that the game calculates how many materials something drops is it has a chance of dropping all of its materials and a chance of dropping nothing. So despite putting in all that effort to kill the spawner, we got no reward for it, so feels bad. As long as you can kill the spawners pretty quickly, Wave 9 should be pretty good for income, and this character should, at this point, be pretty high on damage. We've been building damage very aggressively, and we're focused on getting as much damage as possible, and of course we're a little ahead economically because of stealing high-level items, so we should get pretty good income this wave. I will take 2 HP here, even at the cost of 3 attack speed, and we'll take 2 more ranged damage. Ritual is probably worth stealing. It saves 141, so only if we find a good level 3 item will we find something better to steal, so I'm just going to steal the Ritual because we know we want it, and I'm just going to grab that now. Celery tea, we don't want. That's going to cost us too much money next wave with doubling the enemy health. I'll take the laser gun, though, and I'll take the hedgehog. I'm thinking about the celery tea. So we have increased enemy damage. Wave 10 is typically the wave where you need to make money when you're playing the Abyss, because it's the wave where your characters are going, where you can farm. It's sort of like the wave 9 of the Abyss map. So doubling enemy health on this wave will cost us a lot, and it's a little late for celery tea anyways, so I think we're going to pass on it. I'll buy this, and I don't want to reduce my move speed anymore, even for the snail, so I'm going to keep rolling. I will take the Scar, though, and Peaceful Bee costing me a ranged damage I think is too big a penalty, so we're going to pass on that, and we'll just sit with 68 materials. Piggy Bank is pretty good for this character because you're often going to have more materials in your shop when you leave the shop than other characters will. So Piggy Bank is a slightly higher purchase. Not something I'd go like wildly out of my way to get, but it is better on this character than on most characters. Of course, the items cost more, so the amount of materials you get from it are correspondingly less valuable because items are more expensive. So there's definitely some downsides to Piggy Bank on this character as well, but for the most part it's a pretty nice item for us. So you can see our wave clear, because we have this laser gun, our wave clear is okay but not amazing, but we're making pretty good income on this wave. I really would like more movement speed. That would be something that we would really like to grab, especially because we're about to fight an elite. I'll take the pumpkin because we have a sharp bullet. I could roll for movement speed. I could also take max HP or lifesteal to try to stay alive against the elite that's coming up. I feel like our character is not as strong as I would like at this point. We have found pretty good items, but not the best items. So I'm going to take the lifesteal rather than the economic bonus because I'm concerned that we're just going to die to the elite if I don't take something that helps us stay alive against it. Then I'm going to roll for movement speed to at least get back to positive. We will take the tentacle here. That's a lot more healing, and I'll grab the padding as well, and then roll. I could level up my laser gun, so I'm going to combine, because this is a cursed revolver, so I'm going to level up our cursed revolver, buy another laser gun, because that will help us kill the elite faster, since laser guns are very good for killing elites. And then we got a level 3 laser gun, which I'm going to steal. No, I can't steal because we're going into an elite fight. I did just say that. But we will buy it. This is more laser guns than I want to have, but this will help us kill the elites very quickly. And then we can take the lure here. I could take a 5% chance of spawning a second elite and just steal the duct tape. And I don't hate doing that. I'm going to say 1 in 20 times we're going to have a really hard next wave. But most of the time, we're going to just get a relevant item for no penalty and be able to have a little bit more armor in the future and not waste a steal here. So because we haven't found any other... we haven't gotten caught when we were stealing yet, our elites have not gotten boosted in power, so we should be able to kill this one fairly easily, especially because I bought these laser guns, which are precisely for killing elites. So we got our first elite kill. What level 4 item you get when you kill elites on this character is also a pretty big determiner of how easy the run is going to be. Because, of course, if we get a lot of really good level 4 items, then we're going to snowball way ahead and become much more powerful than the game. If we find, an early anvil or something. Like, if you steal an item and get a wave 3 elite and kill it and get an anvil, then the game is just won. Which is another way that this character's, like, sort of randomness manifests. But that is exactly what you have to do, is try to put yourself in that position. And, of course, whether you find something good or not is going to change how easy it is to play the run. Extra Stomach is a great find. That's going to be worth a lot of health, which is something that we need. I'm going to recycle the mushroom. We're not really using regeneration. I'll take the propeller hat, and I will start taking gambling token. I think that gets us to positive dodge, so we can now start building dodge. I want to roll for attack speed if possible, and we did find some. And then we're at 12% lifesteal, which is a little on the low end, so I'll take a little bit more lifesteal as well. Buy some armor. Dynamite. We do have some explosion damage from the spicy sauces. They're not an important part of our damage. These are just for HP. You can see they've dealt less than 300 damage. So these are just for the 6 health that they gave us. But Dynamite for 60 buying 1 curse isn't a totally ridiculous thing. I think we do need more damage, so I'm going to roll, though, instead. Let's take the Cursed Lens. That's awesome. Peacock, we could potentially grab here, so I could steal it. That would increase enemy damage too dramatically, though, because so if we hit an elite having stolen the Peacock, I feel like we will just almost guaranteed die, because it'll one-shot me. So I think we're going to pass on Peacock. I think we're just going to accept that. I guess I did. Yeah, no, I bought a Scar, so our XP gain is fine. Let's take the Garden here. I think 133 is about on average for what we would steal, but if possible, I'd like to steal something more expensive. And here I am going to steal the Wisdom. Wisdom is pretty good for us because we're going to fight a lot of elites and we won't have the damage to one-shot them. So buying Wisdom helps a lot. And there you can see we got the alert, so we're going to fight an extra elite. I'm going to make sure to buy a couple things that will help out against that. And let's go ahead and combine this and buy another submachine gun, just increasing my weapon damage. Jelly would be good as well. Warrior Helmet would be great. Can't afford either of those, so we can't lock items. So let's go to the next wave. Just going to drink some water. And let's go fight another elite. See which one it is. This is probably the hardest elite for us because... and for the Gangster in general. Because this elite puts you under pressure and is very hard to just not fight. And the Gangster sometimes will want to just not fight elites. Now, I think our damage is pretty good, and we've invested very heavily in increasing our damage output. So we want to make... We will be able to kill it. And this is where you want to be, is strong enough when you're playing the character that you know you're going to be able to kill any elite. And at the point where stealing and having the elite show up is a good thing for you because it gets you a level 4 item guaranteed, that's when you know that your run is going well. But getting to that point is the real struggle on the Gangster. The Extra Stomach should be giving us tons of HP value over time, so we don't really need to buy more HP now. And this is what I'm talking about. If you're if you go really out of your way to get a level 4 item, and that level 4 item is Estee's couch, then you're going to be pretty sad about that. We'll take the baby gecko here, and I'm going to start building dodge. I think we will want dodge later on, so I'm going to start investing in that now. Take the mutation and the duct tape, and then roll. Alien Worm Cursed we will definitely take, and Lost Duck will pick up. Cyberball I won't grab. Shotgun I think you should typically avoid on the Gangster, because it's not very good for single target damage. Blunderbuss, on the other hand, is often worth taking, but I'd have to sell an item for it. So I think we're just going to pass on that. I'm really looking for a high-level item that we can steal, something really powerful. I'll buy the lure here, and unfortunately, I miscounted there. I wasn't paying attention to how much money I had, so I did mess up this shop quite a bit. So now I'm going to end up stealing this Lost Duck, which is not what I wanted to do. I should have stolen the lure, of course, rather than the Lost Duck. I thought I had a reroll and could look to steal something else, but better to buy the item that we know is good than try to roll into something powerful here, I think. Just definitely a mistake there, obviously, to buy the Lost Duck and steal the lure when I was going to buy one and steal the other. I should always steal the more expensive item. Lure, of course, very valuable for this character because items are more expensive, so the amount of money you get out of them is correspondingly more. Now, the lure itself costs more, but free items for characters that have increased item price are always increased in value, even over where they already are, which is very, very high. Would love to upgrade my submachine guns. The level 1 submachine gun could really use a boost, but mostly I'm looking for attack speed and damage. And dodge, I think, would be really good at this point as well. So I'll take the gambling token. We'll definitely take the bag. Ball and chain we're not going to take because all of our weapons fire faster than that, except the laser guns. We'll take 8% damage here. Our percent damage is actually terrible. I hadn't really paid attention to that, but my percent damage is very low, so I really do need to boost that. I'm not going to buy the Schmoop. We have the extra stomach, which is giving me tons of additional HP, so I don't really need to buy that, and I don't want to reduce my range damage at all. Upgrading to a level 4 laser gun from a level 1 revolver or a level 1 submachine gun is an okay option. It's not something that I think we're that excited by, but I guess it will almost guarantee an elite this wave, which could get us another level 4. So I'm going to recycle here. I'm going to steal the laser gun. Now we're almost guaranteed to get an elite, which we do want. And then we're going to boost our damage output to try to kill the elite quicker. I will take the gentle alien here for sure. Fried rice, we're never setting things on fire. The level 3 laser gun, unfortunately, doesn't do anything for us. Metal detector I could buy, or I could roll for a higher damage item, but I'll just take the metal detector. And then let's roll one more time. I'll buy the claw tree as well, just for 3 crit chance, because I just want to do anything that increases my damage when I'm going to go fight an elite here. So we are making our elites stronger, and we're making the bosses stronger, which is going to make things more challenging in Wave 20. So we do have to be aware of that. Oop, walked right into that cloud of attacks. This elite is not too difficult to fight with ranged weapons in general, unless you're bad and walk into every attack like I did. And, of course, our low movement speed is part of the issue here, is that I have reduced my movement speed a lot and haven't managed to find move speed items or level ups. So that's part of why we struggled a little with that elite, was I'm just kind of slow. So I wasn't able to dodge out of the way of it as quickly as I thought I would. The cursed tree is great in combination with extra stomach. We don't have to go out of our way to pick up consumables off the ground while we're at full health, because we're just going to get 8 HP at the end of the round, sort of no matter what. Take the fertilizer here, and focus costing me 9 attack speed. It's still worth it, but unfortunate that we found an item that wants us to only have one weapon. 30% damage there when our damage is that low is still correct, but I could definitely have gotten a better level 4 item there. Let's roll here. I really want move speed. I don't really need lifesteal. I don't really want a level 1 move speed, though, so let's roll again. I guess I'll just take 8% damage. Level up the laser gun, and let's remember not to steal an item this shop. And I will buy a cursed fertilizer, of course. A blunderbuss here. Blunderbuss is really good for killing elites, so I could sell out of like my level 2 revolver here and buy the blunderbuss. But I think what I'm actually going to do is not worry about that, and instead buy the sunglasses to increase our overall damage and the metal plate to make us more survivable. I think our damage is fine. We could improve it, of course, with the blunderbuss. It would be a real improvement over the level 2 revolver, but these two items instead of that I think are better. Don't want to fight 2 elites at once, so we're not going to steal something. And I'm definitely not going to steal anything on waves where we have multiple elites, or where we already have an elite. I'm not going to steal anything unless the chance of an elite spawning is like sub 5% or like 5% or lower, because I just know I'll get unlucky. It is, of course, survivable to spawn an extra elite. It's not an instant death or anything like that, but it is very dangerous, and you do typically want to avoid it. Unless you are really, really ahead and know that you're just guaranteed going to be able to kill them. Similarly, we will not steal anything on wave 20 to guarantee that we can kill the bosses. This explosive turret, again, a pretty disappointing level 4 item, but I will take it. It can help us with wave clear. We'll take the coupon here. And do I want dodge? Do I want percent damage? Our percent damage has improved a lot. I'm going to take the dodge here so we can start building that up, I think. First, laser gun. So I'm going to sell out of my lowest level weapon here. We could just end up as all laser guns. I could also just sell the level 3 laser gun if I'm worried about wave clear, which I kind of am. I think what I'm going to do is actually sell both of these. So I'm going to sell out of the laser gun, buy the cursed one, sell the blunderbuss, and then steal, or sell the revolver and steal the blunderbuss, because I do want another elite to show up. And then let's roll here. Nothing particularly that we want. Roll again. Too late for the piggy bank to be particularly good, so we're not going to grab that. Clockwork Wasp will help with the explosive turret, and our move speed is horrific, so buying the Clockwork Wasp I think is good there. Shackles, we can't get anything. I think we will be able to afford something if I reroll, hopefully. And yeah, we can take this scope. Hurts my attack speed quite badly, but again, just you really can't be too picky on what stat you're improving on this character, because it's just hard to determine exactly what items you're going to get. So the way to play the character is always to just consistently improve your stats. You just want to be strong enough in general stats that you're just way over the damage curve for the wave that you're on, even as the elite get stronger. And it doesn't matter what stats you have in particular, because you just have so many stats total. And you can see there that that's exactly what happened. We're just killing the elite very quickly, even though we've made it more powerful. The increased enemy damage there with that walrus, so we're getting hit for 26. Of course, the extra stomach that we got earlier means that we have not had to invest in HP, which has been huge for this playthrough. With Gangster, I think, don't be surprised if it takes you a couple tries to win with this character, just because, as I've said a few times, it can be fairly random, but as long as you steal every wave, don't steal on elites, know to run away from elites, and make sure that you're consistently improving your character, you should have a very good shot. I'm going to take the silver bullet here, and I will continue to buy more crit chance, and then we're going to take the movement speed. Having actually positive movement speed is such a big deal here. Again, I'm not going to steal. We probably could fight 2 elites, but I don't want to throw a run that we're winning by just doing something greedy. So we're going to take the ritual, cake, and injection here. All of these are fine, and we will keep rolling. Not going to buy the weird ghost because we're going into an elite fight. Let's roll again. We keep finding weapons that have exactly the wrong levels for us. The laser gun doesn't do anything because I can't upgrade my cursed laser gun or anything like that. But I will take the +2 ranged damage from the reinforced steel. I could steal an item here, but we're not going to because that would put us in danger of getting a double elite spawn. This is probably, I don't know if this is the hardest or like second hardest elite for the Gangster if you roll it early. It's certainly doing a lot of damage here because I've increased enemy elite damage so much. But we have now, at this point, gotten decent healing, so we're going to focus damage on the shark here and continue to try to just avoid tanking hits. So you can see, even though our damage is very, very high, it does take us a while to kill elites because they are now stronger every time we kill another one. They get more and more powerful. So our damage really has to keep up with that increase in power level that we're giving the enemies. Blunderbuss here, of course, being very, very good, just doing a ton of damage. We'll take the lemonade for sure. Spider, this is amazing because we actually have 4 different weapons, which is a little unusual, but obviously great for this particular item. And then we'll take the mutation as well. I think attack speed, 10 attack speed might be better than 3 ranged damage for us. Although we do have some submachine guns, but I actually think the attack speed is going to increase our damage more. That's just a gut feeling. I didn't do the math. Here, I'll just take 8% damage, and we are, again, not going to buy Weird Ghosts. Let's check our damage. So you can see 25k on the Blunderbuss, 9k on the Cursed Lasers, 9k on the level 4 laser. So you can see why Cursed items are so good. 15k on the Revolver and 13 on the Submachine Gun. So this is why I like Blunderbuss on this character, because it's so good at killing elites. Let's roll here. There's nothing we want. We'll buy the bag. I'm going to buy the Cyclops Worm. I feel like we can find a better item to steal. Very happy to pick up this laser gun. And then we'll keep rolling. A Cursed Fireball. That's kind of interesting. Is there any chance that that is something we actually want? We have 3 elemental damage, but all cursed items are worth looking at usually. I think we're going to pass on that. I will steal this exoskeleton, though, for 3 armor and 5 speed. This is massive for us. Huge item to find there. And, of course, it gives us an elite, which will give us another level 4. I'm not going to buy the spicy sauce. Our HP is fine, and we're not going to go for the fireball, I don't think. Let's roll again and see if we can buy something else. I'll take Baby with a Beard. Wave clear has been kind of an issue for this character because we've ended up with triple laser gun, and Blunderbuss is good for wave clear as long as you're already clearing the wave, but worse if you aren't. So Baby with a Beard will help with wave clear because our range damage is so high. I would take the Peaceful Bee as well because I do want to boost my dodge, but for now, the wave clear I think is going to be more important. Fighting this guy again. Oh, I took 2 hits immediately, so I'm just going to back off a little bit and do a little bit of healing. But luckily, our damage output is high enough that we should kill this thing very, very quickly because our cursed weapons and our laser guns, which are a pretty good item for killing elites, of course, are great for that. Now that we have Baby with a Beard, I'm also very happy with the laser guns because the Baby with a Beard can just clear all the chaff enemies, and our laser guns can focus the elite and the high health single target enemies like the mini bosses or the cursed droolers that show up on this wave. There's a lot of different directions you can go for your economy on this character, but all of them are going to involve finding some level 3 economy item, I think. Like, you're going to want to find Black Flag or Hunting Trophy or something along those lines. We'll recycle that. No need for that. This is... Wow, okay. The Cursed Cape. I will say, this run, we've gotten quite lucky with cursed items. We've found all quite relevant cursed items, and a few more than average, I think. And Cursed Cape gets us to dodge cap immediately, which is ridiculous, and also gives us a ton of lifesteal. I'll take the medical turret. Just any safety margin that we can add to our playthrough is good. Let's roll past all of these items. Cursed Ghost Scepter. So this is an item I actually want to talk about. If you find a Cursed Ghost Scepter on any ranged damage build relatively early, you should usually just buy it, because the amount of free HP that it gives you will be ridiculous, and it's cursed. So you only need to kill 10 enemies with the level 3 Cursed Ghost Scepter. That's a slightly randomized number, but you will get just massive amounts of bonus HP if you get one of these early. So definitely pay attention to Cursed Ghost Scepters and the other cursed ghost items as well if you happen to roll into one. Those are almost always worth picking up. We will steal this Silver Bullet. Silver Bullet, of course, is like the #1 item for this character. And this gives us an almost guaranteed elite spawn. So, of course, at this point, we're strong enough. We just want to try to spawn as many elites as we can to maximize our power. Oh, this Big Arms. I wish I had stolen the Big Arms 6 range damage, but I'll take a Garden just for more safety. Jerky, of course, is amazing. So we're going to go to the next wave. All right, it's this guy again. How many times must I teach you this lesson? It gets faster every time because we are keeping ahead of the power curve. So even though we are improving the elites are getting stronger every wave, both from their natural scaling with the wave and also because as we kill them, they scale. But we are outscaling them, and that's exactly where you want to be on the Gangster. You really need to be ahead in order to be outscaling the enemies. Thousand materials this wave, that's great. We don't need any of these stats, so we'll recycle that. I prefer attack speed to percent damage, but again, just total stats is what you're looking for on this character. We have 69 dodge, so we're not going to take any more dodge, because it's too nice to give up. Let's roll here, and I'm actually just going to take 1 armor. I think that matters more than like any other stat we could have. At this point, we will take the Cursed Missile. And we're not going to steal this wave because we want to just kill the bosses without having to worry about it. Gentle Alien, this is extra lifesteal because more enemies on the field is more stuff to lifesteal off of, and extra percent damage, so it's worth buying here. A level 2 revolver. We keep finding exactly the wrong weapon levels. This is always a problem when you have multiple different kinds of weapons, and we've got 4, is you're going to often not be able to upgrade your weapon. That's why most builds you're going to see people just go with only 1 weapon type. I'm not going to buy the Sunken Bell. 1,000 damage is like 2 shots from our weapons here, so and we don't intend to go below 40% health. I'd rather just focus on items that give us more damage output. The Cursed Submachine Gun, though, I will definitely buy, because that is just better than our level 3 Submachine Gun. Let's keep rolling. We do have 15 engineering, so the nail is actually a damage increase, but it costs us 2 ranged damage. So basically we would be getting +4 damage and losing 2. Because we'd go up to 20 engineering and then get 20% of that. So all of our weapons would gain effectively 4 ranged damage and lose 2 ranged damage. So the nail is a net positive here, even though it costs us ranged damage. So we're going to buy it. And then here I will take the ritual and I'll take the beanie, just any relevant items that we can pick up. Make it a little easier for us to kill the bosses, and then we're going to go fight the bosses. Focus on the whale boss first, this guy. The serpent boss is much less dangerous, and you're always going to have be at risk when you're fighting the bosses on this character, unless you've like avoided fighting any elites all run. Which is another way you can play the Gangster. You can just not fight elites. You just run away from them and try to avoid killing them. I tend to think that that's harder, but you're always going to have pretty dangerous bosses this wave where they do a lot of damage. Make sure you approach the boss fight correctly, which is killing the whale boss first because it's more dangerous, and then killing the serpent boss second. Take a look at our damage here. 30k on the revolver, the cursed revolver, 25 on the submachine gun, 35 on the laser, and then both of these are worth 20, and the blunderbuss also worth 20. So the cursed items did outscale the blunderbuss. Taking a look at our early items here, some important decisions that we made. Stealing the alloy helped a lot. Finding the cursed lumberjack shirt obviously was great, and the cursed revolver obviously was incredible. Stealing all these rituals was a big deal for us as well, and the early sharp bullet gave us a ton of wave clear, which is exactly what we needed. Very good with revolver and submachine gun. Less good with laser gun, of course, but still very useful to have. Our first major item that we got from an elite was the extra stomach, which gave us 72 HP, so obviously a tremendous value there. And other than that, our bag was worth 645, that and the curse bag, so bag, of course, overperforming as always. Alright, my friends, I hope that you have enjoyed this look at the Gangster, and I hope it helps you if you have been having trouble with this class. I know a lot of people have been struggling on this one, so hopefully these tips will help you, and also hopefully the knowledge that even expert players can struggle on this class will help you out as well, because the class is inherently a little bit RNG dependent. What you're going to want to do, as I mentioned before, just to quickly summarize my advice here, buy luck to increase the quality of items that you're finding, steal every wave and make sure you're stealing expensive items as much as possible, run away from elites if you spawn an elite that you can't fight, and then later on, try to outscale the elites with your level 4 item income. Alright, thanks you for watching, my friends. Of course, leave a comment, hit like, helps me out with the algorithm, and you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato strategy guides and other strategy game analysis. And I'll catch you next time. Cheers, folks. GG.